Hey, what's up guys? So welcome to the Ultimate Mythic Weapon Guide. We're going to be showing off how to acquire every single Mythic weapon in Fortnite Season 2 Chapter 2, but also give you guys some tips and tricks that a lot of people don't know about, so make sure you watch till the end of this video. So up on the screen I showed off where every single weapon or new item, because the grappler isn't technically a weapon here, will be spawning in. And just as a heads up, they will spawn 100% of the time. They are a boss drop, meaning that you will have to eliminate the boss to go ahead and pick these up, or if you eliminate a player that happens to be carrying them, that's another way to go ahead and acquire them. So just as a heads up, I will be putting timestamps down below if you're just looking for a very specific guide, because each one of these bosses has a different mechanic. And what I mean by that is there are some turrets on some of them, and some of them are a little bit more difficult than others. But the secret vault that you will be obtaining after you go ahead and get their key card can be accessed on every single one. However, some are easier than others because they require you to do less or more. But those will spawn in the exact same areas, just as a heads up. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over the first one, which is going to be the Mew Mew Pew Pew rifle, which is a heavy AR variant. Okay, so to obtain this, you want to go over to the yacht, and one thing I want to explain, and this does apply to every single one of these, and we're going to be going over the interrogation feature. So once you go ahead and down an enemy, I'm talking about the henchman, you can actually pick them up and you can actually find out exactly where all the chests in the area are. I do want to mention, just as a heads up, that it will still show chests that have already been opened, but you can basically shake them down and it will reveal where the boss is. You'll see that there is a indicator of a red crown. That is exactly where the boss is. So once you know where the boss is, you can go ahead and try to eliminate them. Sometimes they are pretty difficult. I just want to mention as a heads up, try to go from the back so they don't notice you, because they will do lots of damage and a lot of players will actually lose out to the boss. So once you eliminate them, they will be dropping a key as well as their weapon. Every weapon is actually different and it will be there 100% of the time, as in, like, there's not a chance for it to drop. It will drop every single time. Now with the yacht in this instance, it's very easy. There is no turret. You just go ahead and put in the key card, and here's, I guess, a reference of where it is, and it will be in the exact same spot every single time. As far as what you get out of the secret vault, now that we're going to be talking about this, that is completely random. You're not going to be getting the same things every single time, but you should get a decent amount of gear, and usually it is definitely worth it. A few of the areas do have an escape, like for example, the yacht will have a porta potty that you can enter. It kind of teleports you to another area, and here's where it teleports you to, which is just right outside of Steamy Stacks. And just as a heads up, multiple people can go through these. It's not like a one-time use sort of thing, but yeah, it'll just teleport you right outside over here. Alright guys, so the next one that I want to go ahead and mention is the boom bow. So the boom bow is obtained by going over to the rig. And just as a heads up, I'm not going to go over the same mechanic that has already been shown off, meaning that you can interrogate every single different type of henchman. They're the exact same. There's also a phone booth mechanic that allows you to go into certain areas, but this one's probably one of the easiest ones, simply because you can just instantly drop down and you don't have to worry about a lot of people following you, because most people won't go instantly and drop to the water. But this one's very easy. You just go ahead and put in the key card, and it's basically the same exact mechanic where you're going to be able to go ahead and just loot up. This one also does have a teleporter, which will just teleport you over here, which is pretty much just right outside of Slurpee, so you can rotate over to there. It's a pretty decent item too. The boom bow can definitely make people pretty salty. Alright, so the next one that we're going to be showing off is the Grotto. Now this is a mechanic that is actually utilized to open up some of the chests, because some of the chests that will require you to be scanned, or certain doors, you can actually pick up a henchman, like carry them on your back, and you could basically use them as a key card to go ahead and open up the certain chests or certain doors. I just want to mention this is like one of those bonus tips that a lot of people didn't know about. You can also go into the phone booth and convert yourself, but it's just much easier to pick up a henchman, because if you convert yourself to a henchman and you actually attack, or you're too close, you'll actually get spotted. But this is a mechanic that a lot of people don't know, and it is very helpful. Also wanted to mention another little tip over here. If you happen to break the chest that requires you to be scanned, via breaking the chest or breaking whatever the chest is placed on, so basically if you break the floor beneath it, the chest won't actually drop all the items like normal chests. These are chests that you have to have yourself be scanned, as in you are a henchman, or it has to be that you have a henchman and you're carrying them. Another tip that I want to mention is you can break the doors that require you to be scanned. The only time that this won't work is with the vault. You can't just break open up the vault by pickaxing it. You actually have to have the key card. That's the only way to get in. Okay, so now that I went over those quick little tips, I want to go ahead and go over the Grotto. This is how you obtain the minigun. This one is a weapon that a lot of people wish was vaulted forever because it is annoying to die to. That's for sure, especially when you're low on mats. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you guys the phone booth mechanic. This is how you transform yourself into a henchman yourself. And when you do this, you'll be able to access all of the chests. The turrets won't actually shoot at you, and on top of that, you can also open up any of the doors. You can see over here how it works. You just have to scan yourself over here, and it takes a second. So just as a heads up, don't try to rush these because if there is an enemy next to you, he will probably eliminate you before the chest finally opens. There is kind of a glitch too. If you carry a henchman, sometimes it takes longer than it should, and I think this is a bug in the game, and I think it will be fixed. But yeah, turrets won't shoot at you, but here's a bonus tip right here. If you put a pyramid or a cone right on top of the turrets, or a reverse cone if the turret is hanging from the ceiling, the turrets won't actually be able to fire back at all. Now, I also want to mention another thing. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you cannot actually build right on top of that area. This specifically happens in the agency, but here is Brutus. Brutus is the boss that will be actually dropping the minigun. Alright, so here's where about Brutus would be. He's always in this like main control room. Most of the bosses will be kind of in the same area, but people can aggro the bosses super far away. But most of the time, they'll just try to eliminate the boss, obviously. But here is the key card, and here's where you go ahead and access it. If you don't know where the heck the secret vault is, all you have to do is go ahead and make sure that that item is selected, and it'll basically guide you towards that area. But make sure, again, you put that pyramid over there, or you can disable the power, which will actually make it so the turrets won't actually be active anyways. Alright, so I mentioned that you can disable the power as well, so we've already looted it, but this is a way where you can disable the turrets if you don't want to go ahead and throw the pyramid. This is another option that you can go ahead and do. So here's where it's at on the Grotto. You basically just keep on going forward. Remember, again, you can just go ahead and eliminate those doors by just using your pickaxe, but this is where the generator would be. It does have quite a bit of HP, so keep that in mind as well, but once you disable it, all of the turrets will just go completely offline, and they basically won't even be there. So that's how you go ahead and access the ability to not get hit by the turrets. But most people will probably just want to use the pyramid, although in the agency it's kind of an exception because the building over there is kind of a glitch fest. Alright, so the next one over here is going to be the Scar variant that also comes with the Infinite Grappler. So it's going to be in this main control room where the boss actually spawns. My teammate just actually eliminated them. I also want to mention you can actually eliminate the turret by shooting at it, but it has 2,000 HP, so it does take quite some time. Also wanted to mention you can try to use some of the decoy grenades, but it's really not that great. It just really has just too much HP, and it's usually not worth it. You'll just end up taking too much damage. So really looking for the generator and destroying it is probably your best bet. Or again, you can actually transform yourself into a henchman and just go there. And I know on this video, I'm not showing you where every single phone booth is because you really don't need it. With the exception of the shark, it's like kind of hidden underneath this rock area over here. And you can also utilize the Infinite Grappler. You can use a lot of the different tools, but you just can't shoot another henchman, otherwise that will ruin your disguise. But yeah, once you are fully disguised, you can go right in and you won't get hit by the turret. So that's another way where you can go ahead and access the secret vault. Once you have the card, yeah, you can see that the turret won't actually apply and damage you at all. And just because we're showing you guys where it kind of leads you, most of them just put you a little bit closer to the zone. It's kind of utilized as an escape tool. And also another bonus tip, while you're inside of the vault, in like the main core area, you can't actually build. So if someone chases you, your best bet is to pretty much take everything and just leave. Alright, so here is where the generator is for the shark. So it's pretty much just under the vault, and then to the left, depending on, I guess, which way you are orienting it. But it's just pretty much, you can just farm right under, and you'll see exactly where it's at. And here's like in its orientation right next to the vault. Alright guys, so the last but not least, the agency, getting the gold Tommy gun over here, or the drum gun. This is obtained by getting it from Midas, so you'll have to eliminate him. He's actually pretty tough, just as a heads up, and this area is super chaotic, so just keep that in mind that it is a wild party over here. And this one is actually pretty important to eliminate the turrets here. So we're going to do that by disabling them because shooting them is just way too long. So just go ahead and wall off that turret right there or put a pyramid over it and you'll access this door over here by either converting yourself to a henchman. But here's where the generator is. And this one is super important to actually take out because again, there's going to be a elite guard, and on top of that there's double turrets, and down there you can't really do the reverse pyramid 100% of the time because the turrets are stuck to the wall, and sometimes it just doesn't let you go ahead and do that. So here's about where you would actually farm downward next to the vents to go ahead and get to the generator. And over here is pretty much where I just like to farm down. It's in the little room, but you'll see that there's a guard over here. He's one of the elite ones. And then on top of that, there's going to be 2 turrets, but we've already disabled them. But that's how you access this vault. Alright guys, and there you have it. Every single mythic weapon guide showing off where the heck all the things are at, especially those tips and tricks with the pyramid blocking the turrets, as well as different things that a lot of people just didn't know about. But hopefully this video and guide helped you guys out. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it. And if you are new here, I do plan to go ahead and go make a video going over the mythic versus the legendaries and showing off how powerful these new variants are, because they are actually different. I'll be making that very soon. But if you guys want to check that out as well as other Fortnite content, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and you'll see more very soon. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.